Hello, hello, everyone. Here we are, and welcome to the IT Hour. We are glad to have you. It is Friday, first Friday in August. Yay, Friday! We're always happy to see Friday come to the week. All right, so we've got a little bit of a different agenda for you today. Tom and Alexa have abandoned us. They ran off, not together. Don't get that impression. They had different things to do. I don't want to start any rumors. No rumors on this show. Nothing. Well, Mac and Windows rumors are okay, but no people rumors. Tom had other things here at work, and Alexa ran off to go have some fun today. So have fun, Alexa. Enjoy your time off. We're not jealous. It's okay. Don't mind us. We'll be fine. But we are glad to have everyone. Thank you for joining us. We've got a great crowd. Wow. People are just pouring in. Thank you for coming. We've got some, what I think is fun and what I think Pam thinks is fun. But speaking of Pam, it's been a while since you've been on here. So why don't you introduce yourself?
I don't think I've actually ever been on this side of the camera.
Maybe not on this show, but you've been on this side of the camera.
I have.
On the webinars and things. So why don't you introduce yourself to this crowd?
Yes. So I'm Pam Lefkowitz. Some folks who show up know me from the Mac admins community. I'm on the content team. I write all about admin life and MSPs and how to not go crazy with customers who, how to not go crazy. And I write about all sorts of different businessy things because I ran an MSP for 25 years. So that's
Pam knows.
Charcoal. There's something about charcoal going on.
People are threatening to grab pitchforks and torches and everything.
You see what you started?
Calm down. It's okay. Tom and Alexa will be back next week. I promise.
We'll make them feel guilty. It's okay.
Yeah. We're gonna make them feel guilty, but they'll be back. They'll miss us too much. I promise. It'll be all right. No, we know, Lou. We know we're having fun. We like to joke around a lot on this show. You will find that our snark and joking is part of our charm.
I have no snark.
It's our charm.
I have no snark.
You lie. You sit on a throne of lies.
Maybe.
We do a lot of that. All right. So today's agenda. We don't have any agendas here. We're going to talk about the community update like we normally do. I'll give a really brief meetup update since Alexa's not here. We've got one quick product update, and then Pam is going to talk about this really awesome total cost of ownership calculator that we released recently. I accidentally called it total cost of management earlier in Slack. Oops. But really, this thing is so cool. I can't wait to dig into it. Our team spent a lot of time on this free resource, by the way. I think you all will find some really great use out of it. At least I hope you will. Pam's going to talk more about what went into it, what it does, why it's there. And with your background, Pam, with all your experience being an MSP and all your IT experience, I think you'll be able to speak really deeply and very well as to why this matters. Like, why would anyone care about this? Why would they want to use it? What's important? Why would anyone care? But I think given the economic times that we are in right now, and let's be real, people are scared to use the R word, that recession term, but it's definitely an economic downturn right now. We're all feeling the pinch. On LinkedIn, every day, sometimes multiple times a day, I'm seeing layoffs. I'm seeing tons of people saying, oh, I was part of the last layoff round at blah, blah, blah company. I just saw another one at Oracle, and I've seen them all over. So companies are tightening their belts. They are cutting budgets. They're doing all kinds of things. And so in IT, it's going to be upon us to save money. They're going to tell us to cut costs if they haven't already. So being able to justify what you're doing by looking at the total cost of ownership of whatever it is you are doing in your IT stack is going to be really important. So I won't go on and on about that, but that's going to be what Pam's going to talk about after we get through a couple of things. And so let's look at the comments here really quickly. Rob says he has tons of snark, just no charm. Oh, Rob, that's not 100% true. Maybe, no, it's not. It's not true. And Rick says, really good labor numbers reported today, but you are right. Yeah, I mean, even though there are a lot of companies that are still hiring, there are so many layoffs that I'm seeing in large numbers. I mean, there are a ton of tech companies right now that are, and not just tech companies, actually a lot of different companies that are doing that. So people are feeling the pain. If they're not laying off, they are cutting back severely. So when companies cut back, they are buying less software. So that might hurt MSPs instead. If they're not buying as much software, then they might be pulling back on services that they're buying from MSPs. So that can hurt in other ways. So we will circle back to that in just a minute. I'm going to jump in really quickly to community update. Roto 31 had a really cool self-service app for Jump Cloud endpoints that they shared in the script repo. And I think it may have come from a discussion where someone was asking a particular question, and they put together this really cool package. I will post that in the show notes. Definitely go check that out. We've had some great things going on in there. Sean Shakir had asked a question about Windows Zero Touch deployment, and Jurgen jumped in and started answering that. So they've got a really good conversation going on about that. But if you have any input, make sure you go in and jump into that conversation. And then one of my favorites, Scott Reed, posted best practices for using the run as user recommended command for Windows and displaying a useful result. He did a big, long post about how to do all of this stuff. And so he's been posting some really good resources recently. And if you don't know, Scott's in our product management under devices. He works a lot with Tom. And of course, we know that Tom is one of your favorites here on the IT Hour. But Scott's been doing a lot of really great product related posting in the community. So please go thank him and encourage him to do more of that, because we want to get our product people in there as much as possible. But he's been doing some really good resources. So thank you, Scott. And our JCU team has just released some new PowerShell courses, and they posted about that in the community. So if you are interested in learning more about PowerShell or maybe refreshing your skills, you should definitely go take a look at that. Then Abhishek says, let's get Scott here. I think we have had him here once, but yes, that is actually on my list to get him doing some demos in the near future. So stay tuned, and I will see what I can do about that. I will drop some of these links in the chat momentarily. And then on meetups, not a lot of updates quite yet. We are still doing the refresh, and that should be coming out a little bit later this month. And Alexa's also working on getting some more meetups scheduled for later in the month. So if you have a suggestion for a location or know of a meetup that we should be sponsoring, please, let us know. We are all for that. I don't know, Pam, if you all were thinking about having one in Chicago later this month, or
I don't know when we're going to do it, but we will have. We certainly will have another. The last one was great. We really enjoyed it. So, yep, Alexa and I chatted about that yesterday for a little bit.
cool. Luke is asking how the progress on API change logs is going. I will have to find out, Luke, because I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to get back to you on that because I don't have Tom here to pick his brain at this moment. He's the one that's up to date on that. I am sorry that I'm not the guru on that he is. But I do have one quick note on product releases, and you may have seen this in the community, and if you didn't, I will link the post. Derek posted about Jump Cloud reports. On the Insights section, there's a reports tab. They are doing some more work around reports, but what they have released so far is users to devices, and that's going to return all user attributes and device associations for each user. There's users to directories, which returns all user attributes and associations to directories for each user. There's users to LDAP, which returns all user attributes and associations to LDAP resources for each user. And users to Radius server, which returns all user attributes and associations to Radius servers for each user. We have some future reports planned. We're actively working on 2 additional reports to be released soon, and we'll do a separate community post once those are released, but they should be coming in the not too distant future. Users to SSO applications and OS patch management policy status. So we're excited to be working on those, and I know the product manager is super excited to get those going and post about those in the community as soon as those are ready. And I see a big yay from Sean, so I'm glad that somebody's really excited to have more of those reports going. So with that, Pam, are you ready to jump into calculating?
Oh, I can, for sure.
All right.
So,
what do you want to start with?
The content team of, well, I think we need to do a little bit of a background. Yeah. So the background on this is we have too darn many tools. Us IT folks have just way too many things to deal with. We've got an MDM over here, and we have an SSO over here, and we got an RMM over here, and we got our PSA over there, and we got way too many things. And sometimes we've got like multiples. So we have an MDM for Mac, and we have an MDM for Windows, and we have, and it's, could we add just one more thing to the mix? And even whether you're an IT admin inside a department or an MSP who's running everybody's IT, centralizing and consolidating and unifying this stuff is how we keep from breaking our brains, right? We don't have it. The less things we have to monitor and control, the better off we're going to be mentally and financially. So we put together a complete guide to calculating TCO. That's total cost of ownership. Hi, Kelly. I can buy 20 computers for my company. Let's say I could. I really can't, but we'll pretend. I could buy 20 computers for my company. And then 3 years down the road, somebody will say, well, we need to refresh these. Well, do we really? Have we really used up what we can use up on them? What did this cost us over the past 3 years? What did this cost us over the past 5 years? How can we compare accurately an on-prem solution, so AD, let's say, to a cloud solution? How are we going to do that? So we developed a TCO calculator. And we didn't just want people to, yes, Sean, we didn't want people to simply go off on their own and have to figure it out. So we actually wrote instructions because we're nice guys. So can we put the link to the ebook in here? Do you have, wait, I think I might have that here. Okay, great, thank you. Oh, thank you. Good, so we've got this IT Professionals Complete Guide to Calculating TCO. Let me share that. Let me share this with you. Why doesn't it let me share it?
I gotcha.
Hang on. No, I got it. I just have to get the right screen. I have to put you over there and me over here.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what this beauteous document looks like. It goes through what TCO is. It gives you a link right in the document to the spreadsheet in case you have misplaced it. It talks about all the formulas that we've got, that we've included in the calculator. So it tells you how we got to it. We had a lot of input from finance on this. They were, the folks there were super helpful. We tried to describe what we were doing and how we were thinking, and how you can use the calculator. Maybe you want to use it to compare a current solution to a potential solution, or you want to compare 3 potential solutions. So this goes through, and look at this, it's so much math. I didn't do any of these calculations. I just got to look at them and make sure they figured correctly. So this will go through all, it talks about data center hosting costs and networking costs. It even talks about employee costs, rollout, what it, because every solution has to be rolled out. So you have to include all your rollout costs. Let's do, hang on, I have to figure out how to hide this one. Didn't we just have this discussion? I'm going to stop sharing that. And I'm going to share the actual calculator. I have to make it pretty though. Share that. Oh, I hope this works. Yay. So what we did with this calculator is this is at the moment only for Google Sheets. We do have an Excel version in the works. We have to put some finishing touches on it. So what we did was we put a warning on here that, only fill out the pieces that are logical for you to fill out. Don't change formulas or you're going to mess things up. So the first page of this is your instructions. It's what's your company name, number of employees. This stuff may or may not be used in formulas further on in the sheet. It's good to have. How many locations do you have is not used. There is a growth factor that is included in how some things are calculated for future, not how they're calculated for today, but how is life going to look in 3 years. There is a mathematical formula for this. I don't know what it is. I, off the top of my head, don't know what it is, but the calculation is in the sheet we did before, the book we did before. This is the average inflation rate in the US even today. It's averaged over 10 years. And you can change any of these that you want. This is the most important part right here, is how many years are you going to do this assessment in? Are you looking at 2 years or 3 years or 5 years? We made all these beautiful little buttons here so that going to another page within this workbook is just a click. So when we go to option, excuse me, you will need to do that. We're going to just not. I should have done it first. So in your sheet, in your calculator, you have a section for infrastructure equipment, data center and hosting, software applications, employee devices, and personnel. Oh, sorry, and the initial rollout costs. This area here is what you've spent, literally what you've spent. This is your recurring costs. So you buy a computer, but your computer isn't a recurring cost. You buy Microsoft Office, that's a recurring cost. Going forward, then you've got your future projections. What's it going to cost on whatever basis, a yearly basis? And then we do the calculations. So you get to fill in the blue areas, we calculate in the white areas. So you will say that firewall licensing, let's say, costs you $4,400 over the next X amount of time. Your end of life on items also has a cost. So if you sell it or dispose of it, those costs are in there too. So you've got a projected total cost of ownership, and then you have a lifetime. So this is what it's going to cost going forward. This is what it has cost us plus what it's going to cost. Now, sorry, I just lost one of my ears. One of the coolest things that we've done, our dashboard. So what we did here was we filled this in for you. We have two examples. You can download an empty template, or you can download, you can download this one that's filled in already. So you can manipulate, you can see how it actually is going to look. The coolest part is that we came up with these dashboards that show you the differences. In this case, we're comparing an existing infrastructure with a cloud alternative. So you can see for each item, for each of the sections, what you're actually comparing and how they look with each other. So obviously here in a data center, you have no data center costs, right, with a cloud solution. So those are zero. It's not that we missed it. They're zero. And it goes through each of those sections with lovely little sparkline graphs at the end. This is we have one for the lifetime. That's this. We have one for just the projected, what it's going to cost if we go ahead and compare one or two or three different solutions. And then there's an executive dashboard for what this stuff has done to us so far. And everything should be, my mouse is not working, should be hoverable, but it breaks it out here by number, and it breaks it out here by color. So we know that software and personnel and support is always going to be your big one. Labor is expensive. So that, and then there's another page here that has formulas that you can use. So if you want to calculate your present values and future values, other types of calculations that don't work. This was a Herculean effort by a lot of people to put this together. It's downloadable. It's free. Let me hide. I have to go back and hide this. Of course, now I can't. See, this is what happens. Yikes. Well, now I can't get out of the share.
Let me see if it will let me.
Oh, good job.
There we go. I can close it for you.
I don't know what happened. So this spreadsheet I wish I would have had this when I was MSPing. It is, it's very clear. The instructions, there is a step outside of that one thing I did at the beginning. We have another page. That's did you put this link in? All three of them. Okay, so the link, there is a link to the absolute how-to. So it'll take you step by step and tell you exactly how you can go about filling this in and making it work. And if you have additions or suggestions, come in the community and ask us how, and we're happy to talk about it. So
yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't done yet, is to really post a lot about it in the community. I've been meaning to, but I figured, let you come and talk about it and share about it. So there's a blog post, there's a guide, and then there's, the tool itself. So what would you have done with this as an MSP? Would you have used it for yourself, or would you have used it to kind of show this to clients and say, here's what your ownership, total cost of ownership would be if you did this versus this?
Yeah, this totally would have been a sales tool for me. Absolutely. I did similar things with customers. There was one customer who was using super old equipment, like really old equipment. And I did a similar thing to this with them, just on purchasing new hardware, and showed them how they, somebody is going to hate me for this, showed them how they could actually save enough money from computing power alone to let go of one of their employees.
Ouch.
I know, it's kind of evil.
But at the same time, they could also repurpose that employee for something else too.
Absolutely.
Do other Sean
yeah, oof, indeed.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could save that employee in one area and move them to something else.
Absolutely.
So there are ways of saving those costs and moving them around to say, hey, I don't need it here, but I could really use it over here. So it's all on how you,
it's positioning.
Yeah. I think another way is when you are wanting to purchase something, or you really need to purchase something, and they're like, oh, we don't really want to spend the money. I don't really want to spend that money right now. Say, well, you can either spend it now, or you can spend more later. And here, let me show you those calculations,
Right.
So this is where it can be really helpful for people in IT.
Yeah. So Kelly, don't do this in Excel yet. Give me another week. I've got it built, but I had to change some things. None of your dashboards will work in Excel. So just give me like a week. I'll put it when I put it up in Excel format, I'll put it in the lounge.
It's interesting that they don't work quite the same, but those dashboards are cool.
They're very cool. They're very cool.
Yeah. And I think what I love is just the don't spend a lot of time.
I got you, Kel. I got you.
It's coming soon. What I like about having it in Google Docs, though, is that you can share it with colleagues and you can collaborate on it at the same time. So that can be the nice thing.
You can in Excel now too. You can work it in the web.
If you do the web version. I'm still, when I use Excel, I still use like the on my computer app. I don't use the web version, but you're right. When you use the Office 365, you can do it online. I like that when I'm waiting for somebody else's numbers, because then I can leave them comments and say, hey, can you fill this in? Can you give me this part?
It was a lot of fun to put this together. It started off one way, and then we changed it a little, and you can, Sean, you can download it, but none of those trust me when I tell you, none of those dashboards are going to work, because Excel doesn't do sparklines the same way that Google does sparklines. So I had to make some changes. Yeah, that is the magic. No, just give me a week, ish. I got it. I promise you'll have it.
So what inspired this to come about? Because I remember early on when we were doing community content, there were a couple other calculators we talked about, but I didn't know if that had anything to do with it or if it was just discussions around other things.
This came about because we are talking here. We're trying to teach about centralization and unification, and times are hard, and centralization unification makes hard times easier financially, like you talked about at the beginning. So, we've got a pretty creative group here in content, and one person will say one thing and it feeds off of another and it feeds off of another. And then suddenly someone goes, well, what if we talked about total cost of ownership? And everybody goes, yay. And that's kind of how things happen around here. That's how this happens. And there's two of us who have a bunch of MSP experience, and so we've run businesses, so we kind of get pinged for stuff like this. And I did not do the development on this, but I certainly helped make it a little more realistic. There were figures in there that at the beginning didn't start out being from somebody who hasn't been in the industry. So we just made it more realistic in that filled in calculator. We made sure we had to, I can't even imagine how many hours we've all spent doing this. It was an enormous effort.
Yeah, but it's such a great reference.
It's and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more tools like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So y'all, if you have tools you would like that would help you run your business or run your department or make your life easier, come on.
Yeah. Let us know. Bring it on, because our goal is to do things like this to help IT admins make your jobs easier.
Absolutely.
No joke. We want to create free resources where we can to help you out.
Yeah.
Now, James is asking, I may have missed this. Why did you do this in Google Sheets versus Excel?
Because that's what we work in.
Yeah. Google Suite is our thing.
I don't honestly know, James, what the numbers are between how many people use Google, how many businesses use Google versus how many use Excel or Microsoft. I don't know, but we'll make it happen in both.
Yeah, it just happens to be that's what we work in by default. So that was probably the easiest place to start.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly is offering
yarn-based bribery.
Possible yarn-based bribery. Oh, I think she knows you.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, James says, have the same here, but our accounting team loves Excel. It's a fun argument you have with them.
Yeah. For folks who think that Excel and Google Sheets are the same and they do the same things, oh golly, they don't.
No, and then you throw numbers in there, which I don't think anyone.
I am not. I'll be straight. Maybe somebody else is going to develop this in numbers, but it's not going to be me. Numbers just did not. Whew.
I use numbers once in a while because I don't have Excel on my Mac right now because we are a Google house, but it's really only for sorting things when I don't want to say.
Hi, Kitty.
She's not very happy right now. Normally she hasn't made an appearance in a while, so I'm sure everybody missed her terribly. It's when I'm just using like filtering and sorting and things like that. Simple things is when I use numbers. Sean says no. I know.
Yeah, I tried pulling this tried pulling it into numbers because I wanted to see just what it was going to do, and it sort of exploded. It was not pretty.
You want to build tools to make my life easier? Yes, Kelly, we do.
Yeah.
We do. No lie.
You know me, Kel. I'm a solution provider. I solve things. Challenge me and I'll solve it.
You'll all solve it. Check out the
I did.
DJ revolves it.
Yeah, I open numbers. I use numbers. On my personal, I use numbers for little things.
I keep it open. I have some exports of like lists of things like I might do the attendees of the IT hour, for example. Right. So I can keep track of things, and I keep that open in numbers because Chrome.
Yeah.
Gracious. It stops working when it needs to update.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, don't get me started ranting on Chrome. So I keep it open in numbers because that doesn't crash.
I use numbers for when I want to export my Quicken budget. I'll read it in numbers because it's easy.
Yeah.
But I just don't make it do anything. You broke up with Chrome.
I would if I could, but they make us use it. They make us.
I use
I love you. I love you anyway, Ryan. If you watch this, Ryan's our IT person, our IT manager. We love you anyway.
What do I use on my personal? There's one that's Chrome based that's more secure.
Is it not Opera?
Not what?
Not Opera.
No, not Opera.
My kids are using something now that I don't even know what they're using. I just use Safari on my personal.
Wait, now you're gonna make me. Oh, I don't even have my computer here. It's in the other room. It's some really super duper secure one that Brave. There you go, Nathan. Nathan, thank you.
What, James? Edge? What?
What? I've not put Edge on my computer. I don't think I want to.
We got.
What is Vivaldi? I have not heard of Vivaldi.
I haven't either. I mean, besides the composer. Yeah, Edge, blasphemy. Yes, I agree. Edge is maybe. Well, no.
We should do Browser Wars one day, Becky. Let's do Browser Wars. That'll be fun.
We should definitely start a thread on that because I want to hear about some of these and why they're good or bad, because there's a couple of them I haven't heard of. And I can't remember what my kids are using. I think they were trying Opera for a while, but I can't remember what else they were trying.
The first person that says Netscape has to get kicked out.
Ooh, I have a ban button, but banning may be a little tough, but I could, or I could just remove them. Just kick them out. Boom. You're gone.
I need to have my browser. My biggest requirement is that there's a plugin that will save my tabs. Because I'm one of those 20 Windows 800 tabs people.
Hi, my name is Becky, and I have a tab and window problem.
Yeah.
Like when I restart Chrome, it says it'll have 15 windows, and it'll say 83 tabs, 44 tabs, 32 tabs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I may have a problem, but I group them too.
Sean, those tab groups go away if you happen to mistakenly close one of those tab windows. So, because I use them too, but if I for whatever reason hit the red dot, that tab group is gone. They're emotional support tabs.
Well, I have Windows related to like I have windows that have all my community stuff in it, and then I have windows that have all my social media stuff in it, and then
Wait,
and then I have
restore it?
tabs. Oh,
Wait, Eric, tell us, what
Eric.
is restore it?
Yes, I do that
Right.
when I restart, but then you have to like go do it doesn't have restore all. I think Safari does,
It
but
does if you get
so,
it fast.
I've never been able to do like I can go into each window and it'll do all the tabs, but it won't do all of them.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
actually
I can
under
do it. Yeah, I can do
history.
it from history, but I usually have to do it one window at a time, not like restore all. I can never get it for whatever reason. Mine doesn't do it.
Windows. Who uses
Windows? What?
What's
Nick?
Windows?
Windows? Who? What?
Nick? What?
Command Shift T will do the last thing it closed. Just the tab. Yeah, I'm talking about when I restart Chrome and it does everything. Like I want to reopen all my windows, all my tabs, all at once.
Dude, yeah.
I want it all, so I don't have to go click, click, click. No,
yep.
15 clicks. Because
so
I'm
I
a
need
window
plugins
hog.
for that.
Yeah, somebody create that if it's not.
Oh, there are lots of them, but we can't use them because
we need an improved one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So one last thing we have is just some quick, semi-fun IT news, maybe. I pulled some quick headlines that I thought might be interesting or slightly fun. Cat, get down.
Very participatory today.
Yes. Hi, here's my butt. Enjoy. I love cats. So, first headline. From IT security guru, gaming cyber attacks increased by 167% in the last year. Akamai research shows that cyber attacks in the gaming sector have increased in the last year by 167%. The report found that the US is the main target for attackers, followed by Switzerland, India, Japan, and the UK, alongside some other European and Asian countries. The report also claimed that gaming is the industry hit most often by the DDoS attacks globally. They estimate that the sector accounts for 35% of DDoS traffic worldwide. Yikes. So if you are a gamer, I guess that's the easiest target. Oh, so Nathan is saying Chrome settings on startup, continue where you left off. I will have to, Nick says that too. I'll check that because I thought I had that checked in it. When I close it, I say that and it still never reopens them all. Next one, Microsoft boosts threat intelligence with new Defender programs. So drawing from last year's acquisition of Risk IQ, Microsoft is adding 2 new threat intelligence applications to its Defender product family and separately offering new detection and response capabilities for SAP ERP systems to its Sentinel SIEM security information and event management product. So I just thought that was interesting that they are trying to add some of these things to their, they're developing this Microsoft Defender Threat Intelligence, a standalone library of raw adversary data. Microsoft says it is offering the library for free, accessible directly by all users or from within its existing Defender family of security products. So that's interesting that they're offering it for free. I wonder for how long, but we'll see.
And first one's free.
Yeah, exactly. Start using it and then, gotcha. That's why I'm skeptical. And I don't know if you heard about this, but Amazon is getting ready to acquire Roomba, the maker of Roomba, for $1.7 billion. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. So Amazon is acquiring iRobot for $61 a share in an all-cash deal. All-cash deal. So it'll deepen their presence in consumer robotics. They made a bet in the space last year when they unveiled the Astro Home robot. This is the device that's equipped with the Alexa digital assistant and can follow consumers around their homes. Not creepy. And it also launched some smart home devices like Ring doorbells, as well as voice activated thermometers and microwaves. Let's see. The acquisition marks Amazon's fourth largest deal behind its $13.7 billion purchase of grocery chain Whole Foods, its $8.45 billion purchase of film studio MGM last year, and its $3.9 billion acquisition of boutique primary care provider One Medical, announced last month.
Because I want them doing my doctoring.
Yes, access to medical information sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So now they can listen on your conversations, follow you around the house. Your vacuum, they'll probably make the vacuum smart too, and that follows you around the house too, probably listening to your conversations. The doorbells and security also listen to your conversations.
They'll send somebody to do your heart surgery before you even know you need it.
Oh yeah, and the vacuum has your floor plan. That's an interesting point there, Sean. Let's see. I missed Kelly's. I gotta go. I gotta scroll back up. Whoa.
Oh, these are beautiful.
Roomba Alexa integration now knows when you're low on milk bones from cleaning up the crumbs and auto orders for you. So your Ring camera can show your vacuum as the Amazon key opens the garage door and sets it free all over your network. Does that mean the Alexa vacuum will follow you around the house? Vacuum has your floor plan. PSA, I need to talk about a really serious subject. Roaming packs of feral Roombas that are taking over major metropolitan areas. Make a movie about it with MGM. Yes. Now know when you need a new lamp. This is how Skynet starts, y'all. Yes, I think you're right. They're going to all join up and just create a little network of creepy robots. Exterminate. So you have to do that in the robot voice. One step away from an R2D2 unit. If you stack enough of them, do they like Transformers? I've seen that movie. Skynet left dirt everywhere. Okay, so one year when I went to Belgium, they had, I think it was an internet service, they had these trucks that had Skynet actually written on them. And I walked around the corner, I saw it, and I was like, have they not seen the movies? This is where, no. This is bad. No.
Maybe that's where it starts.
I think it does. I think we should keep an eye on that. New from Amazon Home, where you get a prefab house. Skynet is made of container houses.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, maybe that was the start of Ready Player One, actually, Jeff. Oh yeah, with all the stacked. I just watched that the other day. Finally, I mean, I read it a long time ago. I just finally watched the movie. Stacked, but those are stacked very precariously. That kind of scary. Okay, back to the news. Beep, 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 beep. This one, I had to put it in here because this is an example of some world-class trolling. A French scientist's photo of a distant star, which they tweeted, this French physicist supposedly tweeted a picture of Proxima Centauri by the James Webb Space Telescope, and it was actually a slice of chorizo.
I'm sorry. Oh no.
They posted the photo last week, claiming it showed the closest star to the sun, and then waited a little while and let everyone know that no, it's not. And this is why you should check your sources. And
I wonder how many people actually fell for that.
A lot, apparently, because they seemed like a they seemed like a reputable source because they're a physicist. And
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
they got taken.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
mean, this is some expert level trolling.
Can you post that link?
Oh, it'll be in the show notes, but yes, I can
Oh,
post it
beautiful.
right now. I can post it right now because
That's totally worth it.
worthy of. Which, by the way, chorizo is excellent in chili.
Okay.
I'm telling you, ground turkey, pop open the chorizo, brown it, make your chili with that.
Yum.
Really good.
Now I'm hungry.
That will pair great with cheese from the moon. That's good, David. But the article actually has a picture of it, and they had zoomed in like really. It's I suppose if you could possibly think that it was yeah. So you're right, Rob. What isn't chorizo wonderful in? Maybe
so
ice
it's
cream.
It's a little interstellar charcuterie.
That's the name of my next band, Interstellar Charcuterie.
Do it.
My next band. All right, so one more. Huge flaw threatens U.S. security alert system. Warning by a DHS researcher. So, U.S. Department of Homeland Security is warning of vulnerabilities in the nation's emergency broadcast system. It makes it possible for hackers to issue bogus warnings over radio and TV stations. Now, I'm taking this with a little bit of grain of salt because this person is promoting a paper at DEF CON 2022 next week, but they're saying that there are some vulnerabilities in the EAS encoder decoder devices that, if they're not updated to the most recent software versions, could allow someone to issue EAS emergency alert system alerts over the host infrastructure, so TV, radio, cable network. This exploit was successfully demonstrated by Ken Pyle, a security researcher at cybir.com, and they're talking about presenting it as a proof of concept at upcoming DEF CON 2022 in Vegas. Yeah. So they it's resides in the Monroe Electronics R189 OneNet DASDEC EAS. That's the emergency alert system encoder and decoder. So there you go. Be forewarned.
So we could have another Hawaii like we had a couple of years ago.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So exciting.
Yes. Interstellar. Is that why Matt Damon went nuts on that planet? No chorizo, Rob? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, that is the last one. I should have probably saved the chorizo for last because that was probably the best bit of news that we had. That was the most fun.
Next time.
I tell you what, you always got to have a little bit of humor in the news. That was a good one. But go check out that article. I will actually have all of the links to the news articles and all of the community stuff in the IT Hour group on the community. And we will go ahead and put links to the TCO calculator and guide and how to. In fact, we should just go ahead and do a whole conversation on the community about it. Y'all are welcome to ask more questions, talk about how you might want to use it, or make suggestions on how we could make it better if we can. I mean, it's already pretty awesome. But there's always room for improvement, and we're happy to take suggestions or start a new thread and tell us what else you could use. And Kelly, I'm looking at you because you said, what? More tools to help me do my work? Yes.
Tell us what you need. We'll build it.
Yeah, we will.
We'll try to build it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're wanting us to build you a spaceship, maybe not. But tools for work, yes.
Yep.
We can work on that. So tell us in the community. There's a button for that right underneath us in the middle, depending on which side I'm on your screen. It's right in the middle. It's over here on my screen, but it might be over here. But we also put links in the chat for that and everything. So let's see. I think if there you go. There's the link. And we are going to give you 5 minutes back. Thank you for joining us. We love having you here. Thanks for all the comments and funniness. Oh, look at that. See, time's up.
Sorry.
No, that's right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you here back next week. Same time, same bat station. Oh, did I just age myself? Oops. That's all right. You're only as old as you act. And I guess I will always be a 12-year-old boy. It's just how it's going to be. So sorry. All right, everyone. We will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Take care.